Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. A couple of weeks ago, Stampin' Up hosted an event on a virtual platform, and it was called Creativity Now. These were the projects. There was no business talk, but we crafted together with lots of other demonstrators from all over the world in their global markets. So we had people from Australia and from the UK, the US and Canada. There wasn't any business talk, it was just time for demonstrators to get together and make some cards. We were allowed to order ahead of time the Splendid Days suite from the new July to December 2022 mini. This is the suite. It has some gorgeous foiled papers, the stamp set dies and these open leaf trinkets, and also the ribbon. You'll find the suite on page 64 to 65. Different presenters to make up the different cards. This was the first card we made, and that's what it looks like in real life. This is the second card. I tweaked mine and made it like this. For the third card, these semicircles were pointing face up and it just didn't look right, so I did mine this way and I tweaked it, and I actually stamped some flowers and coloured it in and did that instead. And then for card 4, this was the template, but I turned mine the other way round. It just didn't look right to me, but that's my personal preference. We also made a gift bag, but I tweaked mine because hers just folded over, and as you can see it just doesn't sit very well, so I tweaked mine and added a scallop detail so that it would shut properly and it would also match the label. I also used this ribbon hole punch, the new Best Trio punch, and I punched a hole in here so that I could thread the ribbon through and it would sit flat. These are the gorgeous papers. They're called Splendid Day and they're 12 by 12, so it's foiled on one side and just ordinary on this side. So these are the reverse. There isn't so much of a glare on this. This pattern, unfortunately, I had to chop off for the gift bag, so on both sheets, so I haven't got a full sheet to show you. But this is soft sea foam, isn't that glorious? This one is sort of fresh freesia, a purplish hue. This is copper, that's silver, and this is gold. And you can see there's a little bee on there. The card we're going to be making is this one. I've used a new embossing folder which I haven't featured yet, and it's the Cascading Ruffles embossing folder, which is from the annual catalogue. You'll find it on page 176. I've also used the Lovely Layers vellum paper. This is from the Botanical Layers bundle, so one half is a stamp set and then the other is this paper. There are patterned sheets, 4 patterns, but the rest is just plain. So what I did was I just took one of these sheets and cut it in half for my card, so then I can use this other half. So let's run through the cardstock you'll need. The Pool Party card base is 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 in metric. That's 21 centimeters by 14.85, and then folded in half. We have a Pool Party and Basic White cardstock. Both have been cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. That's 9.5 by 14 centimeters. And we want some Pool Party scrap so that you can die cut this flower here, and I've used the reverse of this paper to die cut this one. I also need some scrap of basic white and the Splendid Day Designer Series paper. Pool Party ink, Pool Party sheer ribbon. These are the dies. So first I'm going to cut the bowl. So first I'll die cut my pieces, the elements. So I need platform 1, the thin die adapter, platform 2, one of the base plates, platform 3, and a second platform 3, and I'm ready to run it through the machine. So I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. I forgot to record it. This image here is the filler, and it's not meant to fit exactly into the linear image. It's supposed to be abstract, so as long as you line up that with the stem on along here, it will more or less stamp in that direction, but it's supposed to have an abstract look. Now I want to die cut it, so long as you see this little hole down here, if you can see the stamped image, you know, just the line, that's where you place your die. It's probably difficult to see on the video. Next we want to emboss our image, line it up with the line here on the logo side, and then shut the embossing folder. You only use platform 1 and the grey plate, so I'll do that off camera as well. Now, being tone on tone, I just want to add a little highlight to the edge of the cardstock, so I'm just going to use a blending brush and just touch the edges. Last thing to do is to decorate the inside. So again, I'm just going to use this linear image, and instead of stamping it straight, I'm going to stamp it at an angle. Next, I want to stamp this filler inside, so I want to stamp it off so that the ink is slightly lighter, and then angle this and stamp. I also need to stamp the sentiment, so I'm going to stamp "Today is a day to remember." Bring in the mini trimmer and trim it down. Now I'm going to angle the cut on both sides and start assembling the card. Tombow adhesive on the back. Vellum paper next. Just pop a bit onto the card base and centre the vellum over it. Position the bowl in front to see where the stems go. I'm going to put that on the bottom. That at an angle. And this one like so. I'm going to put a bit of Tombow on the back here, so I want it round about there. Put on the label. Bring in the ribbon and tie bow. Finally glue the inside piece. And voila, the card is finished. So how easy was that? Before I go, here's another sample I made using the designer series paper. I just love that soft sea foam one, isn't it beautiful? And that's the inside. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you do, then give me a thumbs up, share if you can. If you haven't subscribed yet, then do subscribe. The list of supplies is below this video in the Show More section. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. And if you want to read more, then click the link below and hop over to my blog. And I'll see you there. Bye.